Hey guys, it's Lindsay. I'm going to do the air reading for January 2026. Happy birthday, Aquarius. As always, if any of these messages don't feel aligned, please take only what you need and leave the rest. This is a group reading, so not every message is going to be for you. But if it does feel for you, then it should feel empowering. That's what tarot means to me. It should always be empowering to you. Okay, we're going to start off with a general reading. I'm going to start off with a general reading for the air signs in January 2026. You're awakening into a new life, and there is this large chasm between then and now. Okay, so this new era is January 2026 feels very different energetically. Not only energetically, it feels like you've shifted timelines completely. Things are not the same in many ways that you can pinpoint, but in many ways that you just can't pinpoint. It feels different, okay? It sounds different, it smells different. You're around different people. Situations are heightened, but it's also this very intense time of, I'm also getting I'm hearing trivial energies, so you may be coming into contact with a lot of trivial energies, meaning trivial situations, people bringing trivial issues to you, but they seem urgent. Okay, so there's this urgency to very trivial things that should not actually be mattering as much, but for some reason you're kind of getting bombarded with these trivial issues that keep coming through. And I hear for a lot of you that's around work specifically. It's very trivial issues. And I think this is also reflected in the way that, going to work and you're going to do the normal thing in your day-to-day, and there's so many larger issues happening in the world, and a lot of this work and these things are seeming more trivial to you. And I think a lot of us, but for the air signs right now, there's this compounding nature of time where it feels there's a lot on a large scale happening, but again on a smaller, more trivial. I just keep hearing trivial, like things that should be inconsequential are now consequential for some reason, okay? And I think a lot of this, the way this is coming through, people are seeking insight from you, air signs. So we are the thinkers of the zodiac. We're the ones, we're mainly in our heads all day. And people are often seeking answers and solutions from us specifically as air signs, because we work from that angle of the mind, right? Okay, so it's giving people bringing their problems to you to solve their problems, right? It's almost like this is kind of funny, but air sign AI is what I'm getting. So it's like they are outsourcing the act of thinking to you, the air signs, to solve their problems. Okay, instead of working their way and puzzling through it, they're outsourcing that energy to you. And so for my air signs, what I'm gonna say is, be very firm with your boundaries on what you're gonna help people with and what you're gonna not help people with. And for a lot of you, as I said, this is gonna be specifically around work. If somebody can solve the problem themselves, let them solve it themselves. Okay, you don't have to expend all your extra energy around helping people, doing more, helping people, doing the extra mile if they won't even put their hand out to help themselves, right? It's very interesting. Okay, we're gonna go into Aquarius. Happy birthday, my fellow Aquarius. I'm so happy to share the month of January with you. If you are an Aquarius and you are watching, please put your birthday down in the comments so we can all say a happy birthday to you. Let's check in with Aquarius. Ooh, we're having a tough one. Breathe, Aquarius. Breathe. Wow. And I do get that we're having that thing where people are asking us for solutions that they should be looking for themselves, and that's the extension of the general reading. But on top of that, Aquarius, what else is going on that we're struggling with? We need to breathe. We need to take a step back. Something about the grind. Okay, so there's something specifically around us needing to cut things from our schedule, Aquarius. Be fair to yourself, right? So there's a lot of extra stuff in the schedule that is no longer prosperous for you. In fact, it's detracting from your general well-being. And I think there are things that you can actually get rid of, okay? Or things that you can actually condense the time, the necessity, cutting things out and being very, very serious about cutting things out that are no longer fair to your health, well-being, or your better functioning, okay? Because you need that nervous system reset, Aquarius, and I definitely feel that as one myself, like that deep inner healing, that deep inner sanctuary, and just being with yourself and not overdoing it as far as being overscheduled, overworked, over-asked, right? You know, I'm hearing both consolidating and liquidating. Consolidating and, as I said, so for Aquarius, it's coming in for many of you, where people often outsource their questions to you. For Aquarius specifically, it's coming in for family. So they are... the message that's being received is people often outsource their questions in the family to you for solutions that they could very easily find themselves. Okay? So now it's starting to really drain you. So the answer here that's coming through is ask them to solve it themselves. If it's things that they can solve themselves, like if you have children and they're always coming to you for questions, have them solve it themselves, okay? You know, walk them through it if they need to be walked through it, but don't allow yourself to continue to offer answers when they have a perfectly functioning brain. And this can be for partners, this can be for other family members, like allow them to solve their problems themselves, because that helps them grow into capable human beings, right? Or helps them be capable human beings. If you're constantly solving problems for other people, they're always going to rely on you and always going to outsource their problems, okay? So for Aquarius, as I said, this is specifically around family. You don't get paid to be the outsource, right? You don't get paid. You're not being... funded for your intelligence, okay? And that's very important because as air signs, as Aquarius, we love solving problems and we love helping other people solve problems. But if we are not getting anything in return for those solutions, for that intelligence, for that brain function, then you stop doing it, right? Okay, so you need to really focus on your peace in January, Aquarius. Really focus on your peace, and that's going to be your birthday gift to yourself, is that peace, right? Is that peace, and also being your own soulmate. Being your own soulmate. But on another level, offering yourself that which you want to see in a partner if you don't have a partner, and really setting boundaries around yourself if you do. You know, specifically the peace is so important. The peace is such an important part of this. Nervous system reset. So if you're able to do any type of nervous system reset, there's a bunch of things that you can find on YouTube, meditations and different things like that. I would recommend looking into those, because you, Aquarius, are going the distance. January into February, there's going to be a lot for you to do, a lot for you to tackle. And the energy is working with you, but you have to pace yourself. You have to give yourself the peace. You have to give yourself the rest that you need during this time in order to go the distance, right? and remain balanced. And that's really what I'm getting for you in Aquarius January. I also did the year reading for you, so please go check out, it should be under the deep dive playlist, and you'll get a full 2026 year reading. Okay, we're gonna go into Libra January 2026. Libra is doing something with mending. Specifically, I'm getting around relationships, Libra. You're mending either your approach to relationships or your current relationship, okay? So chopping wood, that's doing the work. That's doing the actual tangible work within a romantic relationship to repair the relationship and or repair your view of romantic relationships. I feel like for a lot of you, it's actually repairing the view of romantic relationships. So you're actually retraining yourself on your patterns on romantic relationships. So we have the No Place Like Home card. And I feel for a lot of you, we were talking about at the beginning in the general reading, outsourcing your energy, outsourcing your mind. And I feel for a lot of you, Libra, it was outsourcing your mind to your partner, okay? And trying to always fix things for them. And you may no longer be with this partner in the way, for many of you, it's reading that you're no longer with this partner because of that. And so you're trying to readjust, reacclimate to what romance looks like outside of being the fixer in the relationship. Okay, I feel like that's really the title of yours, is the fixer. You need to fix everything. You need to fix this relationship. You need to fix this person. You need to fix the energy, whatever. Specifically around romance. And I think you really need to let go of that patterning, that behavior, that thought process, because you're not here to fix anybody, okay? You're not even here to fix yourself. You're here to grow and become, evolve into yourself, whatever that looks like. And constantly try to fix it at a very human level. You're actually holding yourself back from that evolution. So really in January 2026, whether you are in a relationship or you're not, around your romance, I want you to let go of that idea of being the fixer, okay? We're going to go into Gemini. Gemini, the dual nature. What is happening with Gemini in 2026? It's interesting. So I'm seeing the star on the bag. See the star in the middle? Not this, but like the one right here, okay? In the Gemini reading that I did for the deep dive for the year, we were talking about you needing to learn something specific, Gemini. You using your intelligence, like your superpower intelligence, to learn something specific, to really study something that interests you. I do think that that's starting off heavy in January 2026. You're like ready to go after that thing, ready to learn, ready to get on the train. I think that's what I was talking about. Like you have somewhere to be, somewhere to go, specifically around your education and your learning, Gemini. And that's what we're talking about in January 2026, is you're getting on that train, you're learning, you're hitting the books, you're beginning that. I'm hearing like the re-education, okay? So, we all have our standard education, whatever, that looks different for everybody, but, there's always more to learn, and we have so much access to everything now. And for you specifically, I think this is what I was saying as well in the year reading, it's about not just the like computer learning, it's about the tangible learning, it's about the books, but it's also about the hands-on learning. You really need to be working on what you're learning. So say you're learning architecture and you're learning to build things or things like that. You need to get your hands into the learning process, Gemini, and that's what I'm really seeing, is like start getting in there, like really push yourself into that learning process. And I'm seeing that you're gonna find it really enjoyable. So it's less of like a job and more of something that you enjoy. You love learning, we're air signs, we love learning. And I think that that's really going to be something. It's also somewhere you're going to find yourself having like a steady movement forward, where in many other areas of your life you may not feel like you're moving forward. But when you're learning, you feel like you're growing. You're feeling like you're understanding more about yourself and the world around you and how you function in the world. And so it really helps you get that movement of energy going. Okay. Okay. And time for a nap. I think in many ways you feel like much of 2025 you felt asleep at the wheel, or like at the will of others, you know, driving around you. So this is one way that you can kind of take your will back towards you and really move yourself forward, okay? And something that is both comfortable to you, but also something that pushes you to go above and beyond, okay? It's also going to help you in some ways avoid the conflict and chaos of your mind, because I feel like in many ways, Gemini, you've been spiraling, especially towards the end of 2025. And so when you have a goal, when you have a passion, when you have something to focus on, it's going to take you out of that spiraling energy so that you're put back into your body, back into your space, and you're not outsourcing your energy, as we were saying at the beginning, but the way you were outsourcing your energy is to the larger idea of things, how things could go possibly bad is what I'm seeing. So you're constantly like ruminating on like the possibilities, but a lot of the time it's negative. So that means you need to refocus your energy to the things that bring you joy, to the things that educate you, to that focus, that growth that you want through the active education, okay? And this is going to give you a leg up on everyone else, Gemini, because you have such a tangible knowledge that other people just have not worked for, okay? And it's very clear to those around you that as you move forward and you progress in your life, that you are actually well learned, and that you understand what you're talking about, okay? You've done the work. You've looked at the primary sources, right? Nobody looks at primary sources anymore. You know, in college, I was told Wikipedia wasn't a primary source, and now it's a primary source. So you are the primary source, Gemini. You are the primary source. So, you know, get on that education train. And as I said, please go check out your yearly reading, because that's a deeper dive into that. Otherwise, air signs, I wish you guys all well. Happy birthday, Aquarius. If any of this resonated for you guys, please leave me a comment. I do love to receive your feedback. And if you like your own personal reading, you can always check out the links in bio. Otherwise, I wish you guys well.